Hey third graders, good morning. Mrs. Kane here, and today is Monday, June 8th, and we're going to continue our conversation about fractions. So a lot of this month has been talking about equivalent fractions and comparing fractions and all of those things. So the first thing I wanted to do today was just to quickly review, because we know how to find fractions of a set, right? We've been doing that forever. So what does 2/6 look like? So the first thing, if I have 6, I just shade in 2 of them, right? And there you go. You have 2/6 of this set. But what about if it asks for a third, right? Well, we already know that 2/6 and 1/3 are equivalent, so they're going to look like the same thing, right? So that's basically saying for every 3, I'm going to shade in 1. So if I had these 3, I shaded in 1. If I had these 3, I shaded in 1. So those are equivalent fractions, right? Well, today we're going to take a look at finding a unit fraction of a whole number. So if someone said, what's a quarter or 1/4 of 12? You think, oh, I'm not sure how to find that. Well, we're going to take a look at 2 ways to do that. So the first thing you can do is you can say, okay, for every 4, I'm going to shade in 1. So I see a group of 4, I see a group of 4, and I see a group of 4. So here I can shade 1, here's 1, and here's 1. How many were shaded? 3 were shaded, right? So 1/4 of 12 is equal to 3. But I want to show you a little secret. Now this is only going to work with unit fractions, and if our unit fraction, if we want a nice even number, our whole number has to be divisible by the denominator of the unit fraction. So let me show you what I mean. So our whole number is 12, right? What is 12 divided by 4? Or 4 times what is 12? Well, I know that 4 times 3 is 12. So we can do it that way, okay? So let's take that thinking and try the next one. What is a third of 12? So I have 12 again, and I'm going to say, okay, so for every 3, I'm going to shade in 1. So here's a group of 3, here's a group of 3, here's a group of 3, and here's a group of 3. So I shade 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. How many are shaded? Oh, so 1/3 of 12 equals 4. Well, let's try the other way with the division. 12, I'm going to take the whole number and divide it by the denominator of my unit fraction. 12 divided by 3 equals how many 3s are in 12? 4. Look at how simple that is. Okay, so now we have 1/6 of 12. So I say to myself, okay, how many groups of 6 can I make? 1 and 1, right? So that means I'm going to shade 1 for every 6. So how many were shaded? 2 were shaded. Or I can take my whole number, 12, and divide it by the denominator of my unit fraction. 12 divided by 6. 6 times what is 12? 2. So that is how you're going to find unit fractions of a whole number. It's that easy. The only time it gets a little tricky is if your whole number is not divisible by the denominator. So, your job today is you're going to find some answers to these questions. Okay, so what is the unit fraction. Oh, this isn't working so well. Okay, no. Unit fractions. Okay, what is equal to the unit fraction of these sets? Sorry. All right, so if I asked you to find, and you can post these on your comments in the Google Classroom, I'm going to ask you to find 1/3 of 24 equals what? 1/6 of 24 equals what? And 1/8. Can you see that? 1/8 of 24 equals what? So if I had to find, let me show you, 1/4 of 24, all I'm going to do is take my whole number 24 and divide it by the denominator of my unit fraction. So I'm going to do 24 divided by 4. And I know that 4 times 6 is 24. It's that easy. It's that easy, guys. All right, so post your answers in your comments on your Google Classrooms. And I will see you tomorrow. All right, bye, guys.